wines are made from grapes. To me, one of the most fascinating aspects of wine is that you can actually taste the growing environments of the grapes that was used to make wine. So today, we have 2 bottles of wines. They are both made from the same grape variety, which is Cabernet Franc. Cabernet Franc is actually a close relative to Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon's mother or father is Cabernet Franc. Well, these are both Cabernet Franc, but more importantly, the growing environments are different. This one is a Chinon. It's located in the north part of France, in the Loire Valley. In Chinon, they use Cabernet Franc grapes to make wines. So this is a red wine of Chinon, cool climate in the north part of France. This is a Cabernet Franc made in Santa Ynez Valley in California. So the climate over there is much warmer than the Chinon, than the northern French red wine made from the same grape Cabernet Franc. So let's taste them together, compare them together, and see if there's any differences. So let's look at the Chinon, and let's look at the Cabernet Franc from the Santa Ynez Valley in California. The color is very similar. They are both medium ruby in color. So we cannot tell much difference from the appearance. Let's smell the Chinon. The smell is very obvious and it's very interesting. In the Chinon, you can smell all those kind of very fresh red fruits like strawberry, raspberry, cranberry, these kind of red fruits, red plum. But also, there's a complexity behind the red fruit, which is herbaceousness, such as the grass smell and especially the green bell pepper, capsicum smell. And if you smell the Cabernet Franc from the warmer California region, Santa Ynez Valley, it smells very different. This California Cabernet Franc smells much more riper red fruit. It smells, the fruit flavors and aroma smells sweeter. So it's this kind of very ripe raspberry, strawberry, red currant, red plum, these kind of red fruit characteristics. A hint of black fruit as well, such as black plum. And it smells much less herbaceous as compared to this cool climate Chinon Cabernet Franc. It has much less herbaceous green bell pepper aromas. And let's taste them. Let's taste the Chinon first. It is dry. Whoa, very high acid for red wine. I'm having lots of mouth water. Very high acid. Now for red wine, we talk about tannins. The tannin of this wine is quite interesting. The tannin level is medium. It doesn't have a lot of tannin in it. But the mouthfeel, the texture, the structure of the tannins are very interesting. You can feel the astringency, but not too astringent. So I will say the tannin texture is pretty fine-grained in this wine. Pretty chewy actually. The alcohol is medium, and the body, because of the high acidity, the body is medium minus for red wine. It's lighter in body for this wine. We didn't talk about aroma intensity a lot, but the aroma intensity for both wines are very pronounced, and the flavor intensity of this wine, this Chinon, is also pronounced, very obvious. Lots of, again, fresh red fruit characteristics, and also some green bell pepper flavors and aromas to add the complexity. and the finish is surprisingly very long. Okay, the taste is kind of fresh and elegant, but it stays in the mouth for a long time. So I can still taste those kind of fresh fruit aromas and also some of the herbaceousness. Long finish. Let's taste the California Cabernet Franc. Whoa. I really hope you can taste these two wines together. It's very different on the palate. This wine is dry, still dry, but the acidity is lower. It's only medium acid. I'm not salivating a lot. And the tannin is still medium, it's still at the same level, but the tannin tastes much riper. Let me put this way. The Chinon, this wine, the tannin structure is a bit more angular. But this wine, the California Cabernet Franc, the tannin is a bit more soft and velvety and wavy, a bit more round, because it's ripe. The alcohol in this wine is actually high, and the body is medium plus. It has this kind of fuller body, fuller texture. In the mouth, it almost tastes sweet because of the ripeness of the fruit, but it doesn't have sugar in it. The ripeness of the flavors are pretty, giving it a sweet impression. So this wine also has pronounced flavors of very ripe strawberry, raspberry, cranberry, those kind of fruit. And it is more about those kind of ripe, yummy fruit flavors, less herbaceous. And the finish is also long, but the finish of this wine is more about the fruit rather than the fruit and the herbaceousness. So in conclusion, again, these two wines are very different. They are made from the same grape variety, but the climate is different. The Chinon from Loire Valley, made from Cabernet Franc, is from a cool climate. The California Cabernet Franc from Santa Ynez Valley is from a much warmer climate, more sunshine, more heat. Therefore, you can see much fresher fruit in the Chinon in a cooler climate, versus in California, the fruit expression is much riper and sweeter. The alcohol of this Chinon is medium, and the riper, warmer California Cabernet Franc has higher alcohol. The alcohol is high. The acidity and tannin in particular, in the Chinon, the acidity is higher because of cooler climate, and the tannin is less ripe and less round, more angular, because it has less heat to ripen the grape skins. Again, if you just taste these two wines, they are tasting very different flavor profile and a very different mouthfeel on the palate. So with the same grape, but with different growing environment, such as the climate is different, or the weather is different, or maybe the soil is different, the wine could express different characteristics. And I think this is a fascinating thing about wine. You can actually taste the differences from the growing environment influence in the glasses. Cheers.